What's up, everybody? We got the penultimate episode for season 2 of My Adventures with Superman, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I loved it. There will, of course, be spoilers for that episode here in my video, so you've been warned. Now let's get into it. Episode 9 opened up with Clark living in what seems to be his perfect life now after the Black Mercy induced fear last week, but I think this has more to do with Brainiac taking over his body than it does the show changing how Black Mercy works. Regardless, Lois shows up in his mind after putting the Black Mercy on herself last week, and she's met and arrested by Jor-El. From there, we head to Earth as Jimmy and Kara, with an unconscious Lois, are met and arrested by Amanda Waller. Jimmy he had fired up Flamebird again though, so their arrest, it was live streamed, and this will come to mirror the city coming behind Superman back in season 1 later on in this episode. Then we go back to Fantasyland where Lois has been arrested in her mind, or I guess Clark's mind, and in real life, but in Clark's mind, she doesn't know who she is or what's going on. That is, until she makes contact with him in his mind and gets all her memories back, which sends this simulation into a panic. The simulation, Jor-El and Lara get rid of her time after time after time. We probably saw this about, oh, I don't know, 15, 20 times, but it's conveyed that it's done countless times, and they're trying to erase her from it. As they say, it's already barely holding on as is, showing the strength of Clark's will. Back with our Earth team, though, Jimmy's brief live stream ends up saving them as Perry White and Vicky Vale come to the rescue, setting up a roadblock while Steve Lombard breaks the team out of the truck, and they get out of there just as Brainiac arrives on Earth. Then we get to see the second full interaction between Lois and Clark in the simulation. Most of this stuff it was sped through just to show how many times she did it, but this one it was amazing. It was a really great episode for these two and Lois, showing Clark just how crazy she is. The crazy that he loves so much is what finally makes him start to remember who he is. On the flip side, it's Steve Lombard of all people, along with some help from Jimmy, delivering some great lines about being a hero as Kara doubts herself being able to stop Brainiac. That unlikely pair inspires her to choose who she is, just like Mom Pa Kent helped Kal-El do. But things take a turn for the worst in the simulation after Clark realizes Lois really came for him, as Jor-El and Lara, who are really just Brainiac, are doing everything possible to keep him contained, and I guess both of them contained. He comes in like a wrecking ball, that's Jor-El, and hits Clark, but Lois has super strength here too and hits him right back. When that happened, I was like, what is going on? But it's explained since the simulation is in Clark's mind and he doesn't see Lois as just a human, she's got the super strength here, and that might be one of my absolute favorite Lois moments. Like, it was so damn cool. As the pair breaks free to go save their family, I thought it was a great, great idea. While all that was happening, though, in Fantasyland, Super Brainiac began his attack on Earth, and he's met by Task Force X, which is currently Damage, who's been in the season. I just didn't recognize him at first, the Atomic Skull, and then Deathstroke. He makes quick work of them, but Kara engages him after that, finally defending a planet instead of conquering one. Then, when Brainiac is jolted back into his body, he enables a kryptonite shield on himself, his ship, and all of his soldiers as they make quick work of most of the Metallos as Brainiac prepares his Archer beam. Now, I'm assuming here, but I'm assuming that's an upgraded version of the Archer rifle, which I only know from one comic run I've read, but it was a rifle made by the Kryptonians for superpowered threats, and the beam is made of red sun energy. But here, Carr takes a huge hit of it, so it might have been changed up a bit for the show, and when that second blast is coming, one it doesn't seem she could handle, Superman comes in and obliterates the weapon before it can be fired again. It seemed as if we were going to see the Super Cousins show down with Brainiac here too to end the episode, but just as they go into fight, he takes control over all of the remaining Metallos Lex had, and both of the Super Cousins are hit with Kryptonite to end the episode. That was a phenomenal episode, though. As I said, I loved everything with Lois and Clark. Like, that's genuinely some of the best stuff ever for those two in this medium, and it's a hell of a way to allow Lois to kind of, have a real part in this show, but it's not just willy-nilly, like, it has a purpose, it has a story reason, and it was great. Steve Lombard also, being the one to inspire Kara was wild but equally incredible, and I now need a full season of the Super Cousins, preferably in matching suits with Clark's new design, because that new suit is awesome. And so that'll do it for my breakdown of episode 9 from My Adventures with Superman season 2. Not to bring any other shows into this, and I'm not going to name this show, but another show I'm doing breakdowns for right now could learn a thing or two from this show about how to set up your season finale. Anyway, let me know what you thought of this week's episode down in the comments below and make sure you have a great day.